In the animal kingdom, in fact, multicellularity starts from the animals of phylum Porifera. That is, poriferans are those animals which have pores in their body, and they are the first group of animals with so many cells aggregated together and making a body structure. See, in this figure, 6 different representatives are given, and if you carefully observe their body surface, you can see the presence of so many minute pores. These pores are called as ostia. So all these representatives, they have pores on their body surface, and this is the reason that Porifera name is given to this phylum, that is animals bearing pores. Pori means pores, fera means bearing, animals bearing pores on their body. And in fact, these animals are aquatic in nature, and in their body continuous water currents have to be maintained, and that is why there are specific pores through which water enters into the body, and then there are specific wider openings which are called as osculum or oscula, through which water leaves the body. So in this figure you can see this first animal is Leucosolania. This is one of the marine specimen of this phylum. The second one is Cycon, and both these belong to its class Calcarea. Actually, there are 3 different classes under this phylum, and the first one is Calcarea, to which these 2 specimens belong. Then the other 2, that is Euplectella and Hyalonema, belong to Hexactinellida, and this is another class. Then the third group of animals belong to class Demospongia and Spongilla, which is the only freshwater sponge, and is shown in this diagram. This one and Euspongia, these 2 belong to Demospongia. So out of these 6 specimens shown in this, 5 belong to marine conditions, a single one is freshwater one. This indicates that majority of poriferans are actually marine, and very few species are there which are found in freshwater conditions. Now let us see some of the general characteristics of the animals of this phylum. These animals are exclusively aquatic. They are found in the water, and majority of them are marine in nature. Only some species are there which are found in freshwater conditions, like Spongilla is one of them. As I told in the beginning, the animals of this group are multicellular. In fact, after protozoa, we find poriferans to gain this characteristic. These animals are sessile, that is, they are actually attached to a specific substratum. So they are fixed, they do not move from one place to the other so freely. Locomotion is not present in them, and they prefer to live, sedentary life. That is, when they get attached to a place, then they would be present at that place, and although they may form, so many groups of animals together, but if a single one is there, it will live its sedentary life over there. Then body shape is vase or cylinder-like, means they are elongated, cylinder-like in structure, and they are asymmetrical. Asymmetrical means they grow to different directions. Through budding, they can form extra, projections or extra structures in their side. So they are asymmetrical, and in fact, they are radially symmetrical animals. But since they grow in any direction and a fixed structure is not found in them, so they are asymmetrical in nature. Their body surface possesses so many pores, which I just told. Such pores are ostia, and through these ostia, water currents enter into the body, and then passing through a specific route leaves the body through osculum or if so many such wider pores are there, then they are called as oscula. So the water current actually leaves the body through wider openings, and they are osculum or oscula. They have cellular grade of body organization. In other forms of animals, like in case of annelids or echinoderms or mollusks or arthropods, you find a specific organ system is present, but here only cells are there, and all sorts of physiological activities like respiration, digestion, excretion, such activities would be performed by the cells present in them. They are not differentiated into a specific organ system. So no distinct tissue or organs are found in these animals. The outer layer is that forms, pinacoderms, which are actually formed by pinacocytes. A kind of cells are there which make the external cell layer, and there are porocytes which are present to the place where ostia are located. Then there is a inner cell layer, and that one is called choanoderm, and it is made up of choanocytes, that is flagellate cells, which mainly help in feeding process, and they are present in the inner portion of the animal. If you cut a transverse section or longitudinal section of the sponge, then these cells could be clearly seen lining the inner membrane, inner portion. An intermediate layer present in between the pinacoderm and choanoderm is mesenchyme, and inside the mesenchyme you can see scattered cells. Such cells are actually amoebocytes or sclerocytes or archeocytes, which are totipotent cells. So such cells are scattered in the mesenchyme, and sponges they show very good ability of regeneration. So archeocytes are considered to be totipotent cells. They have ability to undergo or to differentiate into any other kind of cell. So that is possible because of cells present in the mesenchyme area. Such cells go on dividing and differentiating into other sorts of cells. The interior space of the body is either hollow or permeated by numerous canals lined with choanocytes. See, there could be a large space in the inner part of the body that is called as spongocoel. Here it is mentioned the interior space is called spongocoel, and the inner layer is formed of choanocytes. Whereas in some cases, like in Euspongia, much more complicated canal system is found, and the spongocoel will be a reduced area. So we should know that these animals, they have canal system through which actually water enters into and passes through specific routes and then leaves the body. So that is of much use. We shall see that all sorts of physiological functions could be accomplished only because continuous water currents are maintained in the body. Their skeletal system consists of spongin fibers, then siliceous spicules and calcareous spicules. So they are present in the mesenchyme and other portions of the body. So they actually provide support to the animal. The digestive system is totally lacking in them. There are cells specialized for intracellular digestion, like choanocytes are there, and there are other kinds of cells also. They take up the small fine food particles and help intracellular digestion. Then respiration occurs through general body surface, that is exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide could be possible to the cells which line the inner and outer part of the body, like the pinacocytes or choanocytes. They are capable to help in this process. Excretion also occurs through general body surface. Ammonia is the chief excretory product, and that diffuses outside the body quickly into the water, or you can say the water currents which actually enters into the body, that carries several microscopic food materials. Such materials will be taken by the choanocytes, and the respiration could also be achieved because the in-current water would be rich in oxygen content, and the water which will leave the body, that will carry carbon dioxide, and the waste contents like ammonia or whatever thing will be excreted out. Distinct nervous system or sensory structures are totally absent in these animals. Sponges are hermaphrodite, that is, if gonads are formed in them, testes or ovaries, such structures are formed in a specific area of the body, and it's the same specimen which will have differentiation of the gonads, that is testis and ovary. Reproduction occurs asexually as well as sexually, and the asexual reproduction occurs through budding. It is the small outgrowth in the body that will grow, and it may remain fixed with the body or may get separated, and then will lead an independent life. Then in harsh conditions or in unfavorable conditions, particularly in freshwater farms, the gemmules are formed, which are actually aggregates of archeocytes, and these archeocytes aggregate which make gemmule, and they can grow during appropriate conditions. Regeneration is also found in sponges. If you cut a sponge into so many pieces, then every piece will develop into a complete animal, depending on the presence of archeocytes in them. That is, if totipotent cells are present in them, then such a structure will grow into a complete individual. Then sexual reproduction occurs through gametes formations. As I told, the ovary and testis area could get differentiated in the same animal, and then such structures form the ova or spermatozoa and help in sexual reproduction. Then fertilization is internal. Actually, the gametes are released, and such gametes may fertilize the eggs in the same individual, or could leave the body through osculum and could go to the other animals growing in the vicinity. So there may be cross fertilization, that is fertilization occurring between the individuals, between separate individuals. Cleavage is holoblastic, and development occurs through free swimming larval stage. Such larval stages are called as amphiblastula or parenchyma. Amphiblastula or parenchyma are the two larval stages which come in the life cycle of sponges. So based on the organization, you can see the presence of canal system, and these canal system actually vary from group to group. So sponges, they are Ascon type, Sycon type, or Leucon type, because these three different kinds of canal systems are there. And if you classify sponges, they are classified into three different classes, and such classification is actually based on the structure of this canal system as well as the spicules present in them. So there is a class Calcarea, and that includes animals which are exclusively marine in nature. These animals are solitary, that is single living, or they may be living in colonies. Their endoskeleton is made up of calcareous spicules, which is composed of calcium carbonate. They have radial symmetry. They are cylindrical in shape, and the example of this class are Sycon and Leucosolania. These are two well-known specimens which come under this class. Then second one is Hexactinellida, and this class also includes only marine forms of sponges. These animals are also solitary in nature, and they have endoskeleton in the form of 6-rayed siliceous spicules. They show radial symmetry, and they are also cylindrical in shape. The examples of this class are Euplectella and Hyloneuma. Then the third one is Demospongi. Under this class, marine as well as freshwater both forms come, and majority animals are marine, only few are there which are freshwater. Their endoskeleton is of siliceous spicules or sponging fibers, or both structures may be present in them. The spicules are monoxon or tetraxon, but they are never 6 rayed. These animals are asymmetrical, they grow in different directions. Canal system is very complicated in them, and spongocele is almost absent in these animals. Its examples are Euspongia and Spongilla, which is the only freshwater form of sponge.